Just burned my hand on my radiator. Ow. Yes, I know I got a haircut. Don't say anything. Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally here after months of waiting. It's been so long that college is almost over for me by now. Chapter 6 has been released and it is out freaking standing. Personally, I think Chapter 6 was peak Make Your Mark. Before we get on with literally any of the video, I just want to mention this. If you go into Generation 5 expecting it to be like Generation 4, you are solely mistaken. I mean, G3 wasn't like G4 at all. So why would G5 be like G4? Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I digress. Chapter 6 is awesome. All of Chapter 6 feels like just one big episode. Even the special is just a direct continuation of the previous episode, which I feel like could get old if overused, but on the way it is right now, with all of the story build up with Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Chapter 6 being the big payoff, I think it works just fine. Oh, and by the way, spoilers! I did record my reaction to all of this, by the way. I'm not going to upload it because that's literally like rule number 1 of YouTube nowadays. Don't do reaction content. But I will be putting in a few snippets. I'm not talking because it's like 3 in the morning for me right now on a school night, so. The chapter starts out with what I would describe as a cringe-worthy flight sequence. I'm sorry, animators. I'm sorry, story writers, but I just didn't like this sequence. Although it was revealed that Pip uses lightning cable, which means she has an Apple iPhone. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, to be fair, it could also be USB-C, but like, it's kind of hard to tell when it's just blocky. They crash land in their destination, to be fair, the Isles of Scaly. They meet some friendly-ish dragons, and oh my god, that is Spike. This isn't a theory. It's not like I'm theorizing this is gonna be Spike or anything. Like, his name is Spike. He comes from, they call him Spike. He acts like Spike. He calls himself Spike. He has memories. It is Spike. That's crazy. I'll be honest. I did see him in some trailers and things, but like, I saw people online calling him Spike, but I thought that it could just be, you know, similar color palettes, right? I mean, in still shots, it looks like a chick. I'm gonna be honest. But it's not. It's actually Spike in the flesh. And I do like how Spike specifically is pestering Sunny by calling her a princess. But Sunny, don't you know, once you get the wings and the horn, you're basically already a princess? Twilight had to figure that out the hard way, and now she is immortal. Old man. This is my dog. He's another dog. Hello. Dog? This is my big guy right here. He's big because he has like kidney failure or something. Trust me, we didn't make him like this. He just looks like this. You know, and speaking of Twilight, I was wrong. We didn't see her in this chapter, but Spike does have a really somber moment where he's like, "You remind me of somebody." AKA Twilight Sparkle, which I think is really cute. That's really nice. Spike's role is a little strange as he just ends up getting kidnapped, like 5 minutes after he appears. In lore, the dragons went into like a magically induced hibernation for like, I don't know, 1,000 years. Thing is that they actually mention in the show, I think Spike asks how long they've been asleep for, and Sunny just like brushes him off, which I think is really funny, as in a big middle finger to the fans. But it is a little strange how Spike wasn't aware that magic had vanished. Like when he first wakes up, he's like, "Magic vanished for the Podish?" But like then Spike then immediately recounts Twilight's plan to stop Opaline that involves taking magic away. So it's like, how did you not realize what the fuck? Did Twilight leave that part of the plan out to him? Anyways, in the story, they go to Maritime Bay. Opaline starts stealing cutie marks like her plan entailed via the trees, which is pretty cool. And then almost immediately afterwards, the dragons get captured. Okay, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, 1,000-year slumber for that? I mean, what the heck? Each of the main 6 have a go at taking Opaline down, and they all get much farther than I thought they would have, honestly. Hitch throws her off guard a few times. Izzy tries to commit literal vehicular manslaughter. I mean, Izzy's by far was like the most planned out of anybody's. Pip and Zip both sang. They also threw a tarp over her, which I mean, like, it worked in chapter 4. But like, I think they're really underestimating the power of an alicorn. Misty began by misleading and throwing Opaline off of the trail to, like, you know, delay so Sunny could have some time. But then she just ends up fumbling the bag later on and basically just gives her a cutie mark. So make your mark, more like lose your mark. Am I right? I'll stop now. Sunny confronts Opaline by herself. Sunny loses. Spike wakes up via Sparky and then takes... And then the magic of friendship... Everybody sings around the trees. Magic of friendship. And Opaline unalives. No, not unalives. Not yet, anyway. And then the tree locks Opaline inside of it for like another 1,000 years. However long. In this franchise, it's usually 1,000 years. Which, I mean, that's brutal. Can we just take a moment to that's pretty brutal. This show always has like really brutal either deaths or defeats, and I don't know why. It's a kid's show. But when Opaline loses her mark and therefore loses her magic, I think that's how that works. I don't know. The tree closes around her, locking her away in like what I would assume is an uncomfortably tiny room, and just everybody just leaves her there, that's brutal, man. That's brutal. If alicorns are immortal, which I mean, they probably are, and if they can survive without drinker food for however long, then oh my god, Opaline is in hell. I am also pretty happy though that Opaline didn't just magically discover the power of friendship and then recover from being evil. They did the Chrysalis thing where they kept her evil, which I'm really happy about. Misty is like the Starlight Glimmer of this generation. Misty was Starlight Glimmer done good. I like both the characters. I love both the characters, but like Misty was Starlight Glimmer done the way it should have been. Oh, before I forget, this is just gonna put out there. Opaline was locked away via the red locket, the heart locket. Did anybody else notice that was literally the rainbow of light from G1? Did anybody else notice that? I did, and I thought it was weird. All right, now that the overview's over, let's get into my mistake. The title of the video. Listen, I made a theory video a little while ago now. It's been like a few weeks, thinking that Starlight Glimmer, the one I just mentioned, is gonna make a return for Secrets of Starlight because of the name and the color scheme of the logo. Now, hear me out. I see a lot of flack of people pointing fun at those theorizers like me, who are basically all, oh, you thought Starlight was gonna show up? Well, I knew all along that she wasn't gonna show up. No, you didn't. Don't even do that. It's the Reddit shtick of where like, oh, I knew all along. No, you didn't. And can you really blame me for thinking Starlight was gonna show up? They tease Generation 4 every like 5 minutes in this freaking show. I haven't mentioned it, but Alphabettle literally holds up a picture of shining armor in one episode. I don't think it's out of the question. And Spike did show up too. I don't think it's out of the question that Starlight would show up too. Like, it's literally named Secrets of Starlight. The logo is colorized like Starlight. You can't blame me for thinking that, can you? Okay, maybe in my old video, maybe theorizing that this room would be a flashback scene to like either the Crystal Empire or Canterlot. Maybe that was a bit far reaching. But come on, man. Secrets of Starlight, If you don't know, the reason why it's called Secrets of Starlight is because there's a secret at a town called Starlight Ridge. Which, okay, there's a bunch more I want to go through of not only this chapter, but a few other chapters before. I'm not going to run out of videos ideas anytime soon, so I'll see you guys later. Oh, and by the way, I see people in my comment section saying that Elderflower knowing all these things is just lazy writing. No, there's something going on with Elderflower. They're setting up Elderflower for some reason. It's not lazy writing. They have a reason for Elderflower to be like this. Okay, goodbye. I'm editing the video and I want to touch on this really quickly. The reason why I say they're setting up Elderflower or something is there's a moment when Opaline is stealing all the cutie marks. The Elderflower quite clearly recognizes who Opaline is, but then later when she's pushed to the side, she then just outright lies and says, I have no idea who that was. That's why I think it's not lazy writing. I think that they have a plan with Elderflower and they're doing something with her. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's lazy writing, so there's that. Anyway, adios.